Beacon, New York has a magical setting, nestled between dramatic hills and a grand river. Of course, what magical setting would be complete without its own castle? No, your eyes don't deceive you. The ruins of a fortress built by a Scotsman to stockpile his weapons.
Most of what was out here was warehouse. It was storage for Mr. Bannerman's Army-Navy business, and he was the biggest seller of surplus military goods in the world.
It is a pretty fancy storage shed. Frank Bannerman scooped up 90% of the military surplus from the Spanish-American War and moved it up here to his castle on this island. He lived in a smaller structure at the top of the island.
He was his own architect, and that I think is also part of the magic, because no architect would have taken some of the crazy risks and directions that he did.
Tom Johnson is with the Bannerman Castle Trust, a nonprofit dedicated to preserving what's left out here. A devastating fire occurred 50 years ago, leaving the castle a fragile, if poetic, ruin.
It never ceases to amuse me how people respond to this wonderful piece of Americana.
Preservation and the race against time is also the theme at our next stop.
This stuff was going to be lost for an eternity, and I felt this burning need to rescue it. So this is kind of like this great raft floating in an ocean of amazing objects, and they're all bobbing up and down in the water, and I'm just scooping them up as they float along.
Mel Burnkrant, a legend in Toyland.
I spent my life creating toys, and I spent every penny I made buying toys.
Burnkrant's home, a converted monastery and a makeshift shrine to his obsession. Vintage comic characters from the 1930s and overrun with Mickey mice.
There's nothing like this on this planet, at the risk of being immodest.
It started at the age of 3 when Burnkrant was taken to see his first movie, Disney's Pinocchio.
And we were flying above a little village in Italy, and I heard Jiminy Cricket singing "When You Wish Upon a Star," and I wished with all the fiber of my tiny little 3-year-old being that I could travel through that doorway and live the rest of my life there. I'd leave it all behind me gladly. I found that I couldn't make it through the doorway, but I could reach in and pull the elements of that world out and make them part of my world.
Burnkrant would go on to a notable career creating toys.
What it's all about was this incredible journey. I mean, my life was a treasure hunt.
Now he is looking for someone to adopt the collection and love it the way he has. Most of his peers are passing on. Another fun fact about Beacon, New York. It is closer to Boston than, say, Burlington, Vermont, or Camden, Maine. But it is a bit of a geographical stretch. And it was a bit of a stretch seeing potential in this abandoned industrial site.
When I saw it, the first thing that came to my mind was, well, why hadn't somebody done something with this?
Bob McAlpine, owner of a construction company, fell in love with this long abandoned hat factory. The generating force behind his idea to put a hotel here, the adjacent waterfall.
There are people that live in this town that didn't even know there was a waterfall there. That's how overgrown it was.
A decade later, and the Roundhouse Hotel is the only full-service hotel in town. Family-owned and operated, this boutique hotel proudly exudes an authentic, rough-hewn industrial chic. The dining room features soaring windows overlooking the falls, as do many of the bedrooms. Call it an industrial brownfield of dreams.
I saw something that I thought was unique. It was a unique piece of property. And the rest of that thought process is that if you do something, do it the right way, people will come.
The Roundhouse Hotel began life as a factory and machine shop powered by the falls. In fact, it produced some of the first lawnmowers in the U.S. before it was repurposed as a hat factory. And back to Mel Burnkrant, our Disney collector. He spent a career in the toy industry, much of it as creative director of Colorforms. You may remember those sets of colorful vinyl sheets that would cling to a smooth black surface without any adhesives. Coming up, the international appeal of clutter.